I seen him fight his last fight. He was tired in that 12-round span. Like, you could tell every time he fight, it's always like a gas tank problem or...
Rough for anybody. But, you know, Tank is a different animal, too. So, it's a great fight. That's why everybody want to see it. We can't just look at it and say, oh, he going to win, oh, he going to win. No.
Going there and he's very obedient to Tank's power. And Lamont wasn't that. And, like, Lamont wasn't having.
Shakur Stevenson has warned Lamont Roach to stay away from a rematch with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. He called Tank the greatest and said his power is on another level. According to Shakur, Tank is knocking out fighters easily and won't give Roach another lucky shot. With Tank looking stronger than ever, Shakur told Roach to be careful or he could get seriously hurt.
I think it'll be a chess match. I think it'll be a boxing match. People talk about his power. His power is great. You can clearly tell that he's cracking.
Shakur Stevenson admits that if he ever fights Gervonta Davis, it would be the hardest fight of his career. He respects Davis's power, skill, and unpredictability, calling him a real threat. Shakur knows the fight wouldn't be easy and says Davis is a dangerous opponent who could really push him to his limits.
What would be your hardest matchup? Devin Haney, Tank, or would it be Ryan Garcia?
Nah, Ryan, just X him out. He's trash. It's gonna be Tank. I ain't say it before, but I'm gonna say it like me and him the big fight.
Gervonta Davis looks stronger and more muscular than ever in new training videos showing his serious focus and physical changes. His tweet, "Somebody is in trouble," has fans talking even more, hinting that he's fully ready and planning to dominate. People are excited to see what he does next in the ring. Roy Jones Jr. says Gervonta Davis is a different kind of beast in the ring. While he admits the upcoming fight could go either way, he still believes Tank's power and skill will stand out. Jones expects Davis to take control and show everyone why he's a fighter no one should ever underestimate.
Saturday night, Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach. What are we expecting from this fight?
Well, we're expecting Gervonta just continue to show us his dominance and show us who he really is. It's really a coming out party for Roach. We kind of haven't seen him a lot. So he get to show people what he has too. And usually when you get two guys who are boxers amateurs, it's going to equate to a good fight for the first 2 rounds. But when they're in the pro round takeover, we'll find out, has Roach adjusted to being a pro yet? Or is Tank too superior now as a pro? And that's where the difference will come in at.
Roach is coming up on weight. That, you know, a lot of people keep on saying that's a very big disadvantage for Roach. His power might not transfer to, you know, to this weight class. What do you got to say about that to the critics?
Well, I ain't really got nothing to say to the critics because most of the time they don't know the hell they talking about no weight, but I was able to carry my weight from 154 to heavyweight. You know how to do it right, then your weight, your punch will come with you. You don't know how to do it right, then yeah, you're going to lose your punch. So if he's a good, fundamentally sound fighter with a punch, you're going to have a punch at 130, then you're going to have a punch at 140. If he's not really fundamentally that sound, then he won't. That's why Tank is able to jump around. Tank fought between 130 and 140, whatever weight he wants to. Why? Because he's a great fundamental puncher. So his punch can be the same no matter what weight he got on. If you are fundamentally sound, that don't matter. But if you're not fundamentally sound, then yeah, when you move up the weight, you're going to lose your punch.
That's exactly what what I thought you would say. Like, you know, breaking that down and making understand that from 130, 135 to 140, I mean, you got to carry that power with you and how you're going to punch.
If you got fundamentals, you're going to carry it automatically. I took it all with a heavyweight from a junior middleweight.
Gervonta Davis has started working with a new coach, showing he's taking a fresh and serious approach for his upcoming rematch. This change means he's moving away from his usual style and focusing more on the basics. His training now looks more organized, aiming to improve his skills and build better stamina. People watching him in the gym can see how focused and dedicated he is, which shows he knows how important this fight is and is doing everything he can to win.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. Now, this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area, and it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Tevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below.
Many people believe Gervonta Davis wasn't at his best in the first fight, whether it was because of distractions or a bad game plan. Fans and critics think he didn't fight like he usually does. Now, with his reputation on the line, Davis looks more focused than ever. His recent actions show that he wants to prove himself and make sure no one questions his skills. This time, he doesn't want any excuses. He wants the rematch to be more than just a win. He wants it to make a clear statement.
Breaking news, Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach 2 is set for August 16th in Las Vegas. And this is a rematch of one of the most controversial fights in recent memory, where Roach arguably won 7 to 8 rounds of that fight, and then Tank took a voluntary knee in round 9, which wasn't ruled a knockdown, but ultimately, it was scored a majority draw. Now in the rematch, I do expect Tank to look much better than he did in the first fight. I don't think that was his best performance by any means. And that means being more active in the early rounds, not just staying on the ropes looking for counters. And I'm sure he'll be willing to exchange more with Roach this time around. The left hands, the combinations, the body shots, that's where he had the most success in the first fight. And Roach, he just needs to stick to what made him so successful in the first fight. His forward pressure, staying behind that jab and right hand. But most importantly, he wasn't scared to take it to Tank, but he also didn't get too aggressive. Most of Tank's opponents, if they're scared of the power, they'll sit back on the ropes, get slowly broken down, or if they end up getting too aggressive, they get caught with the counterpunch. But Roach, he was sharp that whole fight. I would go Tank in the rematch. I think he has a lot more to show this time around. But Roach did prove to be a very tough test. But you guys let me know who you got.
Experts and boxing fans have noticed that Gervonta Davis has been very quiet lately, while Lamont Roach has been active in interviews and on social media. Many believe Davis is staying silent on purpose, focusing fully on his training and improvement behind the scenes. This clear difference, Roach talking a lot, and Davis saying nothing, has made people think that Tank is getting ready to surprise everyone with something big in the rematch.
Yeah, so we hearing that they got the fight set and scheduled, and it's going to be in Vegas, and it's going to be this August. So yeah, it's basically just been reported. And I'm not going to lie, we knew it was going to happen because they both said they down to do it. They both said they got to do the rematch because it was too close. All I'm going to say is, I'm hoping that boy Tank, because he been quiet lately. Lamont, you been yapping. Talking about you should have won. You keep dwelling on that little almost close win. That boy Gervonta, that Tank, he been... We ain't never seen Tank in this mode. I will say that Lamont, you're a very skilled fighter. But you should be nervous because we ain't never seen Tank like this. He quiet. Like, he's literally hushed, bro. You just see him training. And now out of nowhere, he's like, hey, bro, we can set the fight up. That's actually dangerous. That's actually dangerous when you think about it. Like, dude ain't said a word. Even once the fight was over and pressed, he got the little hat on. He like, yeah, I mean, we could do the rematch. And he said it. I'm going to go in the gym and I'm going to train. I'm going to just be quiet and work. Good match to Lamont. I ain't going to lie. If I was Lamont, I'll be a little nervous. You ain't got to be scared, but I will be a little nervous because usually Tank, he the one that's like, yeah, don't bring your moms to the fight. Don't bring your peoples to the fight. Dude been real hush-hush lately. I'm not going to lie, y'all. They said the fight set up for August. I might have to go to this one in person. And August is my birthday month. I might have to go to this one in person, bruh. Because this right here, at this point, they're rivals now. This is like the perfect boxing story. They come from the same side of the the mat, come from the same gym and camp. I'm not gonna lie, they've been at it since they was kids. This like the perfect boxing story, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. We might have to be in there in person. But like I said, y'all already know how I go. When it come down to it, I'm putting my money on my boy Tank. Lamont, you definitely are skilled, and I'm going into this fight knowing that basically I know you gonna put up a good one, but I got my money on Tank. We ain't never seen Tank like this, bro. Dude quiet, and he ain't saying nothing. The fight just got booked. Oh yeah.
Trainer Greg Hackett recently said this rematch is extremely important for both fighters. He believes neither one has the upper hand, so they both need to be at their best. Hackett warned that even a small mistake could cost Davis the fight. He made it clear that staying focused and bringing full energy is key. This time, there's no space for being careless or too confident.
Rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp and, training with this person, training with that person.
Yeah.
Who has the edge heading into the rematch?
Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45, Lamont.
Why?
Lamont got the edge because he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130. And not only did he not get knocked out, he performed and possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think, but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think Lamont do have a slight edge just because he did what he wasn't supposed to do. So a lot of people go in there and they very obedient to Tank's power. And Lamont wasn't that night. Lamont wasn't having it. And he said he wasn't having it. He said it before. Y'all tripping. Y'all must be really like tripping. So I guess we was tripping.
Could we see the most focused Gervonta Davis after him getting so much backlash for the performance, for the taking a knee, etc.?
This would be the night we have to see the most focused Tank Davis. Because if he's not the most focused, then he gonna be in trouble. It's just that simple. This is the night you gotta be not on your A game, you gotta be on your everything game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have everything with you that night. And you can't play about it. And you gotta mean it. Every step gotta be counted for. And he know that. So I'm looking for this just to be a great fight. Great fight.
World champion Mikey Garcia shared his thoughts on the rematch, taking a calm and balanced view. He said Davis usually learns from his mistakes and expects him to come better prepared this time. Garcia praised Davis for being smart in the ring, but also warned that it won't matter if his mind isn't fully focused. He explained that even with strong training, losing focus could ruin everything. Garcia even said that if Davis isn't 100% mentally ready, he shouldn't step into the ring at all.
Hopefully,
I think Tank wins in the rematch.
Why?
I think he'll make the right adjustments and he won't take too long to fight. He kind of gave a lot of the round away sometimes. I think he'll be more active and he'll win. But big props to Roach for his last fight and performance. Fuck, surprised everybody.
Right.
I think he was robbed from the victory. Again, that knockdown should have been a knockdown.
Right.
But whatever, he gets a rematch, you know. And maybe they get a third fight, you know, after that. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe it turns the market back out.
Maybe it turns out to be another great fucking matchup, and they say, you know what, let's run it back.
Right.
And maybe that controversy from the first fight actually helps Roach fucking get 3 fights out of it instead of just the one, or you know, you never know. So hey, things happen for a reason, and I think he did really well in his first one. Hopefully he puts on a great fight, even if he were to lose, but in a great fight. Shit, he'll get a third fight.
Right.
You know?
Mikey, what do you make of him saying he wants to go to therapy to fix his mental health, but not yet because he doesn't want to get fixed yet because he needs that edge?
I'm not a psychiatrist, bro. I don't know. Everybody's a little different. What I got to say is, if you're dealing with any mental health, it seems to be a very common thing. I mean, if you don't feel that you're 100% dedicated or 100% capable of blocking out, you know, personal life issues or whatever to get in the ring, then don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring. Now, if you're,
it seems like a lot of fighters
if you're
are going through stuff and they get in the ring.
If you're going through stuff and you feel like maybe it's helping, like he says, maybe it's helping him do it. Let him do it. I don't know.
Kenny Ellis, a longtime member of Davis's coaching team, shared his thoughts on Roach's intense training videos. While he admitted that Roach is training hard, Ellis said there's a big difference between looking good in the gym and performing in a real fight. He explained that Davis's fights are not just about fitness. They're about taking punches, staying strong under pressure, and having the heart to win. For Ellis, having the will to fight means more than just good practice.
You see a different Lamont Roach coming into this fight?
No, I don't. I tell people all the time, no offense, this is not a Lamont Roach, but a fighter can do everything in the gym, man. They can do their push-ups, their pull-ups, they can run 10 miles a day, they can eat their diet, they can change their diet, they can do everything right, but it have to be in your DNA to take pain. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing and able to take the pain that come with this shit? That's for any fighter, you know?
Right.
And that's the difference in a lot of the fights. You gotta be willing to take the pain that come with it.
Now,
in the actual fight, not the training, in the actual fight.
In the actual fight, what's the difference between, you know, the pain inside the gym gearing up to the fight versus the lights and you know, being on Showtime?
No, the workout pain, muscle sore, fatigue, that's different, but
it prepares you for those lights.
But that pain in the actual fight, man. When shit get rattled, your eggs get scrambled, your eyes get blurry, fucking mouth and nose get fucked up. You know, a little bit of everything. Body shots. You just gotta be willing to take the pain and come with it. You know, getting your equilibrium every other round.
Since the last fight ended in a controversial way, fans have been arguing non-stop about who really won. Some believe Roach did enough, while others think Davis was still better. Now, the rematch is seen as the final answer. Both fighters have something to prove, and fans want a clear result. This time, people don't want any draws or debates. They just want one clear winner.
I don't even know when is the rematch gonna happen at this point, because I'm not gonna lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won, it's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we gotta go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, you need to be down, period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving them those props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he'd usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. Not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen, because never know, he might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch, because I don't think this is ever gonna be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we gotta see it.
This time, the pressure on Gervonta Davis is even greater. If he loses again, especially without a clear excuse, it could seriously hurt how people see him in the boxing world. One loss can be seen as just a bad night, but losing twice in a big rematch could raise real doubts about his place among the top fighters. Fans and critics might start to question if he truly belongs with the best. With his reputation, pride, and future chances at stake, Davis has no option but to win. This fight could shape how he's remembered for years.
Rematch happening or what? Because I'm ready to see a motherfucker get knocked out again. I'm not here to debate, because y'all really go neck and neck for this for the rest of the tournament on who y'all think really won, who y'all think should have won, who y'all think didn't win. This is probably one of the biggest debates that will never be solved. But they put up a good fight, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, but damn near seemed like it was set up for them to have another match. Because exactly what Lamont did to Tank the whole first half, that's what Tank did to Lamont the whole second half, so what the fuck? It literally went neck for neck. I feel like it was a tie in my opinion. So hard to even say that though, because you just see so much demolishment from one, and then for it to flip to the other, and it just had your mind like, what? It's really how your mind blown. Like, what the fuck? I feel like when it came to the decision of the fight, a lot of people were real biased. A lot of people definitely went off of just their personal opinion of the person, their history of liking the person, not off of the fight itself. I will admit that really going into this fight, the first time, I thought Lamont was going to get his shit knocked off. I thought Tank was going to do him in. Now, although Tank did really show him something at the second half, I'm not going to lie, Lamont had him. He stuck with him the whole 12. You know anything about boxing, especially boxing a motherfucker like Tank, you know that to flex the last 12 rounds just as much as it is to beat a motherfucker. The fact that Lamont lasted 12 rounds with him was really getting up, I'm not gonna lie, stinging shit, all 12. It showed that this next match gonna really show who the fucking winner was. I do gotta say, Tank probably gonna come ready for him, but the fact that Lamont came ready for him as he did last match, I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared for both of them. This should be bigger than the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna lie. They say it's supposed to be happening in the summer, which would be a really good way to kick off the summer. And I know these two got a vengeance out for each other. Regardless of growing up together and fighting together, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The way that fight went down, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like this is gonna be history. Like, I can't wait to watch this shit again.
Kenny Ellis has been hinting at big changes in Gervonta Davis's training camp before the rematch. While he hasn't given details, his serious tone suggests something special is happening. Ellis said this fight won't be anything like the first one, which has made fans even more curious. The mystery around Davis's training has people talking, and his team believes it will make a real difference on fight night. With Davis bringing in a new coach and training harder than ever, The pressure is high to prove himself and clear the doubts from their last fight. Everyone, from analysts to former champions, agrees there's no room for mistakes this time. While Roach stays confident and talks openly, Davis's silence shows how focused he is on the goal.
What do you see?
Both of them, like I said, they both at, top of the game. I see a competitive fight. Nice, clean, crispy shots like the first fight,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't speak on what I seen, but the fight will be different.
Right, because you could strategize and do different things.
Yeah, it'll be different.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay informed. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's keep our news accurate.